there's something called a Kardashev civilization. Look at the history of what we call great civilizations. One of the things that distinguishes them is their capacity to generate and consume energy. And so if that's the case, you can think of levels of civilization based on how much energy they consume. A civilization that's level 1 on this Kardashev scale has the power to harness the energy of its home planet. And that's extraordinary when you think about what that involves. On our home planet, there's the energy of volcanoes, of tornadoes, of hurricanes, and of earthquakes. This is Earth exhibiting a display of energy that typically we run from or die from. If we could control all of that, that would be an extraordinary state of our civilization. Tapping a volcano of its energy so that you now can use that energy to run the city that the exploding volcano would have otherwise leveled. So we're not there yet, but that would be a civilization type 1. Civilization type 2 on a Kardashev scale is, well, what else is generating energy out there? Well, our host star, the sun. So imagine we had total control over the sun's energy. Right now, we just set up a few solar panels here and there, and it's, whatever energy happens to get there on a clear day and not at night, that we're tapping some of the energy of the sun. But the sun is emitting energy in every single direction in space. So imagine you could harness all of that energy. That's vastly more energy than is contained in the Earth. That would be a civilization of extraordinary power. Would they have warp drives, wormholes? Who knows? They'd be traveling across the galaxy, between galaxies, because the energy is so plentiful, and they have access to it, and especially can control it. It's a big factor when you have access to awesome supplies of energy. That would be scale 2. 3 on the Kardashev scale would be you can control all of the energy of all the stars in your galaxy. So our galaxy, the Milky Way, has several 100 billion stars. So if you found some way to harness all of that, oh my gosh, who can imagine what that is? Can you create universes? Who knows? I don't know. I can't think that far ahead. What I do know is that it would be awesomely dangerous, as any new access to energy has always become when in the hands of bad actors on the geopolitical stage.
The next question is, how would we know of a type 3 or type 2 civilization if we were to bump into one? Let's say that scanning the heavens, we see evidence of a type 2, type 3 civilization. How would we know? Well, we've looked. We've looked for type 2 because type 2 civilizations give off an energy, a characteristic black body radiation that we can measure. So far, we find none. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't these civilizations out there. It just means that our devices are so primitive that we have not yet been able to conclusively show that they exist. But if they can go faster than the speed of light, then it's possible they may have the energy of a wormhole. And at that point, they would be type 3. They would have the Planck energy to create universes or to move between universes. Also, when we talk about intelligence in outer space, we have to be open to the idea that their intelligence may be quite different from our intelligence. And therefore, the question is, how do we tell where real intelligence is, given the fact that it could be more than one type of intelligence? Well, let me give you an example. That was in a swimming pool with dolphins. Sensors picked up the squeals and chirps from the dolphins, and then they ran it through a computer. They found, bingo, yes, they are intelligent. Yes, there's a pattern, a regularity to their chirps, And so it is possible to rank intelligence using computers that look for an algorithm. We'll do that in outer space now. In outer space, there's lots of garbage, there's lots of gibberish out there. And we think that most of the gibberish is just the exploding stars, random events of no particular importance. But maybe using a quantum computer, we may be able to go through the mountains of data coming from outer space and find the signals of intelligence.